Okay, so we are alive and ready to go. Welcome everybody from council and staff to this public hearing being held September 28, 2021 at 6 p.m. Before we get going, I'd like to just acknowledge that this public hearing is being held on the traditional territories of the Subasat, the people of the lake, where we all live, work, and play happily together as neighbors. So with that, I'll call this public hearing to order at 6 p.m. to hear the public input on bylaw 1055-2021 that is intended to revise the zoning bylaw 935-2013 in its entirety. An extensive review of the zoning bylaw has been undertaken by the Advisory Planning Commission after work on the official community plan was completed in 2019. As per the requirements of the Local Government Act, we are now providing the public an opportunity to provide input on the proposed revised zoning bylaw. So we'll start by explaining the process. For the sake of order, we need to establish the ground rules for the public hearing, and they're applicable to each of the bylaws that are the subject, well, this bylaw that is subject to this public hearing. Each member of the public who can call in will have 3 minutes to speak on this bylaw. The input should be strictly on the bylaw that is the subject of the public hearing. If time permits, you may take another turn to speak after all members have spoken. For verbal input, the phone number to call in for this public hearing is 250-749-6681. So once again, the phone number is 250-749-6681, and we'll just take our time and give the video a chance to catch up to those who might be watching, and go through a little bit more stuff here. Before speaking, you must state your full name and address. As stated earlier, your input must deal strictly with the contents of the bylaw, and no deviation will be permitted. There will be no debate permitted, and council members may ask you for clarification of input being provided. So are there any questions on this process from anybody here? Of course, there's no public with us, so. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. CAO.
Yeah, did you want me to introduce the bylaw?
That's the next item, yes, please.
Okay. Your Worship, bylaw 1055 is the proposed zoning bylaw, and which is the subject of this public hearing. Was given first and second readings by council on the 27th of April 2021. This bylaw is intended to replace the zoning bylaw number 935-2013. Following completion of the official community plan, work began on the zoning bylaw to ensure its consistency with the plan. The required public notices under the Local Government Act have been issued, and all statutory requirements have been met. The zoning bylaw encompasses all amendments to date. There has been a consolidation of residential zone districts, and with the addition of a requirement for amenities and affordable housing contributions for specific properties. There is also a greater variety of housing types and allowances made for rental-only zone districts. Changes to zoning requirements for commercial zones are also reflected by an allowance for additional height and setback requirements. Council and the public have had an opportunity to review those uses and the conditions for those uses as reflected in the proposed bylaw. And that's it, Your Worship.
Mr. CAO, was there any written submissions?
None at all.
Okay, thank you. So now we will invite input from the public. Each speaker must, for the record, state his or her name and address before beginning the verbal submission. The phone number again is 250-749-6681. Now I think it's appropriate that we just pause for a minute, let the video catch up, and see if we get any phone calls. So just hang tight for a minute. We'll just give it till 6:06. Okay, 6:06 it is. Mr. Fernandez, are there any calls?
None at all.
Okay. Once again, the phone number is 250-749-6681. And I will call for the second time for any further input from the public. And for the third and final time, I will call for any further input from the public. I do not hear the phone ringing. There's been a sufficient time for folks to dial in. So there is no further input from the public. So with the closure of this hearing, no further verbal or written presentations on this amending bylaw will be received by council or any member of council. The proposed zoning bylaw 1055-2021 will be returned to council for further consideration, and that will be later this evening. I now declare this public hearing adjourned. Thank you very much. And we're